Coach, can you comment on how well Chance Wormack has done on the offensive line this year, and also how much he's improved from last year to this year?
Right. Well, he's done an excellent job for us all year long. I think that being a player who maybe doesn't have some of the experience that the other players have, sometimes in some of the games that we played that have been critical games, maybe there's a few more mental errors there, but I think that's a part of maturing. I think that's a part of growing up. But he has played extremely well. He's a very physical player. He works hard, really plays with a lot of toughness, and has done an extremely good job for us all season long.
Coach, you play a team like Mississippi State with a quarterback system that's not like one you run here. How difficult is that for the scout team to master that?
Well, we've seen a lot of that this year, where we've had to try to use someone else to be the quarterback, to do the quarterback runs, and we'll continue to do that this week. Blake Sims, who was a high school quarterback who did a lot of these same kind of plays in high school, has been the guy that's done that. Phillip does a good job of it too, because he's very athletic and big and strong. So we've got a decent picture of it in the past when we've needed to.
A couple questions. One, Vic Ballard has gotten a ton of attention this year, but he's just found a way to score touchdowns. What's he done well for their running game?
I didn't hear
Vic Ballard, running back.
Oh, I had a lot of respect for Dixon last year in terms of being a big, strong, physical back, and I'm saying to myself, I'm glad that guy's gone. But the guys they have carrying it this year have really good ability, probably a little more speed, a little more explosiveness, and they're in a lot of what you would call three-back runs, and they do a great job of executing a lot of gap blocking, and their backs have done a really good job, and he's been their most productive guy.
And a different subject, if I could you talk? We always ask you all about the titles, all the things that are still out there for you, and obviously 7-2 is still a good season. But do you worry about how your team's going to react when there's not an SEC or a national title that's necessarily out there?
Well, I guess there are some scenarios and some possibilities that we could do something, but I think this is all about how you want to finish the season, what you can accomplish as a team. There's a lot out there that this team can accomplish, and how you respond to adversity. And I think that we're probably going to play 4 more games regardless, and that's a quarter of a season. There's a lot of improvement, a lot of things that can be done and accomplished relative to the results that this team can get, which obviously is what you're asking me about. But am I concerned that this team has the pride and performance to do that? I think it's a reality check for them to see how important it is to you. What are you willing to do to make it happen? I know as a coaching staff, we're very committed to doing the things we need to do to try to make that happen, and we'll work very hard, starting today, trying to make that happen. And I know there are some individual players on our team that are excited about trying to do that as well. But it's going to be a combination of the chemistry and the leadership and the individual commitment to make this season something that this 2010 team can be remembered for.
I also have 2 real quick ones. Coach, again, the Quan Minzy just wasn't able to get out there again this week. What's the long-term?
He could have played. He was healthy. He could have played. He warmed up. He could have played. He practiced all week, and we'll probably play him a little bit more in this game. In fact, he may end up starting in this game, but he was capable of playing the last game as well. So he has no physical problems.
Okay. And against LSU, Julio had 10 catches and a run, 11 offensive touches. So is it hard to get much more than that to a wide receiver? I mean, is that about as involved as he can be in the offense?
Well, I think in the last 2 games he's been very, very productive for us, and obviously the more explosive plays that we can make on offense, and he's one of the guys that can make them, but I think we have some other guys that are very capable of making them, and I think we want to see all those guys contribute in a positive way to making explosive plays, and we want to continue to be able to get Julio the ball because he is an outstanding player, but I think we want our entire offense and all the skilled players that we have to complement one another, because there are other guys there that can make explosive plays as well, and we want to utilize those things to be a team that's difficult to defend.
How would you rate the leadership on this team at this stage? Has it been what it needs to be?
Well, I think that when you have a young team, which we have a young team, only 8 or 9 seniors on the team, that sometimes it's a little more difficult to get the younger players to assume the responsibility of leadership. But we have had some good leadership on this team. I think it's something that we need to continue to develop and grow, so that, you know, we can continue to get better. And I think that's going to be an important part of how the team responds, and the true test of the leadership will be about how the team responds. Because I think the leadership is most effective when things aren't going well. That's when it makes the biggest difference.
And what kind of questions are you asking yourself right now? Just, you're saying.
What kind of questions am I asking myself? What I've been asking myself for 2 days is how we're going to stop Mississippi State from running the ball, how we're going to move the ball against them, you know, I know what I'm going to say to try to get our team to do what they need to do, and what we're going to try to do to get them to respond the way they need to respond. So I don't have any, what else should I be thinking about? You know, I mean, I think that's pretty much covers it. I mean, I think about Miss Terry every now and then, just so I don't get in trouble for not including her in all this.
Coach, this will be Mississippi State's first game since they lost their teammate. How important is a fast start for you guys, given they should be pretty emotionally charged?
Well, I think that, first of all, I'm very proud of the way our team responded to that. You know, in support of, you know, Nick Bell and his family, and the compassion that our team showed for their team in terms of tragic loss of a young life and a bright future. But I don't know really what that has to do with the game. You know, I mean, it's a personal thing, and I'm sure there were a lot of relationships that get affected by things like this, but, you know, when the game comes, you know, I'm sure everybody will be focusing on doing the best they can do to compete as well as they can compete to be successful at what they do, and I'm hopeful that our players will do the same thing.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.